Hi, this is Mucker671 again, doing another video on free fishing, free parking most of the time, and great access to the River Thames. And also I do a bit of the River Wye, tips and tricks and campsites and things like that. The place I'll be showing you today is Aragon Avenue. It's just below Hampton Court railway station. It's a section that's separated from that. I'll go into detail on Hampton Court hopefully in my next video. Very, very nice area there, Cigarette Island Park they call it. But for now we'll have a little look at Aragon Avenue. Really, really, really productive area in certain conditions. I'll go into detail a bit later on in the video on the slightly different conditions that are best for fishing really here. It relies on decent amount of water and the mixture of the water coming out of the River Ember mixing with the River Thames. Thought I'd better mention about the parking here. It's where the residential area sort of meets the entrance gate here. There's a few parking spaces here and there outside of houses, but if you do park here, please try and be as respectful as possible. Want to sort of keep everybody happy here if we can. Now the first swim I'm going to show you is right by the rowing club. Believe me, it's busy sometimes. To fish here you really got to be brave, but you can catch quite a lot of chub in the right conditions. It's very clear at the moment, so I wouldn't suggest fishing so close in at the moment, but just off that jetty, a couple of feet, when there's a little bit of colour in the water and it's up a bit, we've had some lovely chub sessions, me and my fishing partner. The trick here really, I think, for the best fishing is when the rivers are both up fairly high, you get this muddy water coming out of the River Ember and it mixes with the clear water of the River Thames and follows this line. There's a defined crease of dirty water on the inside and very clear water on the outside. I like to fish the crease really where the two meet, the two distinct different colours of water. That's roughly where I'd like to put my rigs. You can fish a lot closer in obviously when it's higher, very close in fact, almost under your feet sometimes, with especially if you just have a nice lump of luncheon meat and a very light weight, and just sort of drop the lead and the bait back down under the overhanging trees slowly and just let it settle and be very, very quiet and stealthy, and literally you can go up and down this stretch just sort of stalking them almost. It's not normally as noisy here, it's just that there's a lot of building work at the moment, I think, at the entrance there, so it's just a bit noisy on the first bit of this video. There's some really wide open, clean, flat areas for bivvying it up, that type of thing. Apparently there's been a little bit of complaints from people staying too long or something, maybe, and killing the grass under the bivvies, so it might be worth taking a small brolly system, that type of thing. You know, may help, but the swims here are absolutely great if you're a bit unsteady on your pins like me sometimes. Wide open, flat, as you can see. If you see the trees in front of us, when it's up a bit, you can literally fish underneath those trees with a bit of luncheon meat, like I was saying before, you know, just letting it drop back very lightly, very slowly, just a bit of luncheon meat, no free offerings or anything, you know, for the barbel that is, you know, and the chub. I've found that most methods work here. Feeder with corn picks out the better fish really if you're going to feed a fish. Obviously the boilie method, that type of thing, and the sort of traditional luncheon meats. But I think my favourite is when it's running clear like this and there's not much flow, is, if the conditions allow it, is to put on a big waggler and literally flick out them a handful of maggots, sort of 5 to 10 every couple of minutes for about 3 hours. Don't put your line in the water at all. Don't put your line in the water. Don't cast at all. and just keep going with the maglets. I know it's boring, but if you can do it, maybe fish down the edge or something if you need to fill in the time. But it's really, really, really worth it on this stretch. But the key thing is to just keep feeding without stopping every sort of 2 or 3 minutes. Like I say, 6 to 10 maggots or so, and then after a couple of hours, if you start seeing things surfacing, give it a little bit more time and then cast straight past them, sort of with a 2 foot hook length with no split shot on it at all, just split shot down at the bottom of the float and on the drop, and be very, very patient. Sometimes you sort of 3 or 4 foot hook lengths. It's about, I think it's about 3 meters deep here roughly when it's fairly low. So, and just fish for the chub on the drop. You can have some really good days here like that. I met this chap. I won't mention his name for privacy reasons, but we had a really good chat for a good 20 minutes or so. Very informed he was. Really, really enjoyed the chat. Thank you very much, buddy. Thanks for the info. I'll see you in a bit. Oh. Good to chat. There's a chap bivvied up just to the left of me. I didn't want to disturb him at all, so I'll just leave you with some panning shots of these two swims. While there's nothing going on for the next few moments, I'd just like to say thanks to my subscribers, and if you'd like to hit the like button if you're enjoying this and it's informative, it would be greatly appreciated. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, helps my channel expand. And I'm hoping to give out a lot more information. I've got 40 years worth of secrets to spill. So please hit the like, subscribe, and the notification if you want to be notified of upcoming videos. There's a few more swims coming up, but I'm going to put some music on in the background. Not much I can say really about them. They're fairly sort of the same really as what we've been looking at before. When we get close to the end, though, there is a bit of information I'd like to give you, where the River Ember meets Hampton Courts railway station. There's the park behind it called, what is it? Cigarette Island Park. Sorry, getting confused. Yeah. So I'll just put some music on in the background, and I hope you enjoy the music. as I suggested earlier, in my next video, hopefully my next video, I'll be doing Hampton Court there at Cigarette Island Park. Details of that area, very productive area again. Don't forget to check out my free fishing playlists and good access to rivers. This is Mucker671 signing off.